RFK Jr. promised to dismantle a corrupt healthcare system bleeding us dry, but has he delivered? Or is he just another cog in a $2.4 trillion machine that's too big to be touched? Let's find out. But first, we did this research and put this episode together in the VT research group. That's where we mastermind about all these topics because it's like a crazy amount of elite minds in there that are deeply curious about the inner workings and problems of the world. So if you want to be part of that, if you want to be part of this content development and research and everything we do in there, check that out. But on to RFK. RFK Jr. has built his reputation and his campaign on bold vows to take on Big Pharma, government corruption, and a healthcare crisis he called a national disgrace. He pointed fingers at a system raking in billions while Americans get sicker. But now that he's in the spotlight, that he's in a position to do something about it, where's the action? In this video, we're diving into RFK Jr.'s promises, his deafening silence, and why the healthcare crisis, propped up by Rockefeller legacy, is guarded like the Pentagon's budget. Why it keeps cashing in at our expense. Buckle up because this is gonna sting. So let's get started with what RFK Jr. sold us. He spent years railing against vaccine mandates, pharmaceutical greed, and a healthcare system that he says prioritizes profits over people. During his 2024 campaign for president, he pledged to end the chronic disease epidemic and restore integrity to agencies like the FDA and CDC. He name-dropped the health crisis as a moral failing, tying it to corporate collusion and government inaction. Sounds inspiring, right? Oh, and you can't forget when he gets up on stage and says, "For 20 years of my life, I woke up and the first thing I did is I got down on my knees and I prayed to God. I said, God, please put me in a position to do something about this healthcare crisis someday. Please, God, please. I'd want to do something about the healthcare crisis so badly." And in August 2024, God sent me Donald Trump. And by God, he was made the Secretary of Health and Human Services, overseeing the largest budget in government. So if you wanted to impact the healthcare system and the healthcare crisis, there's no better position than that. Maybe president, but like he is front and center, equipped with everything he needs to change the system. And crickets, I haven't heard anything from RFK except for a few food dyes getting banned. So what is going on? So Kennedy has all the power in the world to address this problem, yet the health crisis is still in a runaway train. No major policy proposals have hit the table. No seismic investigations into Big Pharma have been launched under his watch. Instead, we get more speeches, more books, more buzz, and zero tangible wins. So if he's serious, why hasn't he pushed for, say, a congressional audit of healthcare spending or a crackdown on drug policy? It's starting to feel like his promises were just red meat for his base, not a blueprint for a change. Now, I mean, let's talk about the beast that he's supposedly fighting, a healthcare crisis that's $2.4 trillion. That's a cash cow. So the U.S. healthcare spending hit $4.5 trillion in 2022, according to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, with chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease eating up over half of that budget. Over $2 trillion on heart disease and diabetes. So what's the dirty secret? A big chunk of that money isn't healing us. It's lining pockets, like pharmaceutical companies pulling hundreds of billions of dollars annually with profit margins dwarfing other industries. Like look at Pfizer. In 2022 alone, it raked in $100 billion in revenue, much of it from drugs tied to managing, not curing, chronic conditions. This isn't an accident. It's a business model, and RFK Jr. knows it. He called out the sick care system before, but where's his plan to break it? The cash keeps flowing and Americans keep suffering. Life expectancies keep dropping. Chronic illnesses are skyrocketing, and we're still popping pills like it's the freaking 1990s. And if he has the guts to call it corrupt, why isn't he leading the charge to dismantle it? Now here's where it gets deeper. This isn't just about today. It's about a system built over 100 years ago with the Rockefeller family as its architect. So back in the early 1900s, John D. Rockefeller didn't just pump oil. He pumped money into shaping modern medicine. Through the Rockefeller Foundation, he funded medical schools, pushed allopathic drug-based medicine, and sidelined alternatives like homeopathy. And the result is a healthcare empire obsessed with symptom management over prevention or curing. With Big Pharma as its crown jewel, today that legacy lives on, and the US spends more per person on healthcare than any other country. $12,555 per capita in 2022, per the OECD. Yet we ranked 42nd in life expectancy. The Rockefeller model thrives on keeping us dependent, not healthy. RFK Jr. ranted about this history. But has he taken a single swing at its foundations? No bills, no task force, no nothing. If he's serious about reform, why is he letting this $2.4 trillion monster keep feasting? And don't think the system is an easy target. It's guarded like Fort Knox. You called it the healthcare crisis cash cow. The healthcare system is a lot like the Pentagon budget. Its parallels are eerie. So the Pentagon $886 billion budget for 2024, it's untouchable. Lobbyists, defense contractors. Trump said he's going to lower it at first. Now he jacked it up to $1 trillion. So that shows you how, I think JFK might have gotten killed over that, maybe, allegedly. Political insiders swarm anyone who dares to cut it. Healthcare's the same. It's bigger. It's $2.4 trillion. The American Medical Association, pharma lobbyists, and insurance giants spend $1.3 billion on lobbying from 2010 to 2020. According to Open Secrets. Now that's some serious firepower. And just try slashing drug prices or pushing prevention over treatment. Watch the pushback. He'll get GFK'd. But if this is your crusade, if this is your mission, RFK, you're almost 70 now. Like, if you're a 70-year-old guy, you lived a pretty full life. If you have this one thing that you're passionate about, if you think that there's this systematic evil that's going on that's poisoning the youth of the country, put it on the line, dude. Like, what is the point of just occupying that position if you're doing these like minimal medial things? Like, as we're recording this, RFK, I think his Tucker Carlson episode is premiering, so maybe we'll hear him out, but I have not seen anything crazy from him. I've seen some dye cuts, some dye bans, some vaccine changes, small vaccine changes, nothing crazy, nothing even close to what he was promising. So it's very weird. I strongly wonder if he's being threatened. So why is RFK sitting on his hands? He could rally his base, pressure lawmakers, or at least expose the grift, but instead it's crickets. The $2.4 trillion keeps rolling and the system stays locked, tighter than even military base. So let's zoom in on the specifics. RFK Jr. could have championed transparency, like forcing the FDA to publish all clinical trial data, not just what pharma wants us to see. He could have backed a Medicare overhaul to prioritize prevention, cutting into the chronic disease cash flow. Or how about a public campaign to audit the $4.5 trillion healthcare beast and trace where it's really going? Like, you could walk around Florida, close your eyes, throw a stone, and hit somebody that's got a $1 billion healthcare scheme going on in some hole-in-the-wall office that's a fake doctor's office. Like, that is all over the place, especially in Florida. It's crazy. So there's definitely money being wasted, but nobody seems to be interested in addressing it. And not to mention the whole patent situation with Big Pharma or advertising on TV. Like, those are two major freaking things. That's like, the advertising on TV is what gets Big Pharma to be able to control what the TV networks say. And then the pharma patents are the reason that drugs are so expensive. Like, when a patent expires, the drug goes down in price by like 99%. But most patents exist for 20 to 80 years. Because the laws are crazy. I've done episodes about that before. You can check them out. But his loudest move lately, writing op-eds and tweeting, are hardly the revolutionary stuff he promised during the campaign. But meanwhile, the Rockefeller-built system churns on, pharma stocks climb, and the health crisis fattens up like a Thanksgiving turkey. And if he's got the evidence and he claims he does, why isn't he dropping it? Why isn't he dropping any bombshells to shake this thing up? It's almost like he's playing it safe and not rocking the boat because it might be too big to sink. So what's the verdict? RFK Jr. sold us a vision on healthier America, free from corrupt, profit-driven health crisis, but the reality, he's MIA when it counts. The $2.4 trillion cash cow, built on a Rockefeller blueprint and shielded like the Pentagon budget, keeps gorging itself while his promises gather dust. Maybe he's overwhelmed, maybe he's being blackmailed, maybe he's outmatched, or maybe he never meant to fight this hard. Whatever the excuse, the health of millions of people is on the line. And his inaction, letting the system win. The question is, how long will we wait for him to step up or to call him out? I'm calling him out right now. Now, if this is pissing you off and blowing your mind, like, to say this is the tip of the iceberg of medical related stuff that will blow your mind and piss you off, like, that would be the understatement of the year. So if you want to know more about this, we have a whole medical section in our VT research group on Connect Circles. So if you want to know more about this crazy beast of a system, where this $2.4 trillion goes, check out VT Research. Like, the medical spending is like the biggest pile of money in the history of the world. Medicare, Medicaid, biggest pile of money in the history of the world. So that is an important thing to look at. It's important to look at what palms are being greased with that. So again, if you want to uncover that with us, we are in the process of doing that right now on VT Research. Thank you for watching, everybody. If you want to see some other sick, twisted stuff, check out this playlist right here. It is about how the Rothschilds monopolized central banking. God bless. Much love. I will see you next time. Peace.